Hello, good day everyone. This is Ronald Golova. This time I'm going to look at pivot table. Pivot table is one method of drawing tables with the purpose of analyzing big chunk of data. Now, when you look at this data that we have, we can be able to sort, we can be able to filter, we can be able to um, yeah, put that data in that format, but that is not going to be easy to analyze the data just at a simple glance. For example, when you look at this table, we have category, product, sales, and quarter. Supposing you want to see maybe the product that was bought maybe in the first quarter. Um, that might not be easy now to see the product together with the first quarter here. Maybe you may have to sort by quarter or you can filter. But because this data is too much, this is big chunk of data. We have here 200 and something rows, as you can see there via the scrolling. We have 287 rows of data or data entrants. It is very difficult to analyze big chunk of data. And actually 287, this is not serious amount of data. Because now you think about a business where you're making 500 transactions a day, and then you're going to record that over a period of maybe a month or a year or years. It is going to be too much sums of data. So that amount of data can be analyzed by use of database, or we can use Excel, but Excel will use what we call a pivot table. So how do we draw a pivot table? We click insert, then here we have pivot table or recommended pivot table. Now before you draw a table, Excel can analyze your data and then choose which kind of table can be drawn out of your data. That is very possible. So you go to insert recommended pivot table, and then it will ask you to select the table or range. You can click here, you minimize it, you drag it somewhere, then you can select all your data. Okay? Yes, you can select your data. This one I selected too much. I can change the selection, drag, and then move down. But it's usually good to start this process when you have selected your data. So you click here. Now you have selected the data, then you can see OK. So Excel will bring recommended pivot tables. It has brought sum of sales by category, sum of sales by quarter, count of product by quarter, I think count of product by category. There are three, so it is up to you. If you want count of product by category, it is here. It's giving you count of product by category. This is the product, this is the count of the product. It is there, and it gives even the grand total or count of product by quarter. So by first quarter we had 69 products, by second quarter 74 products, and so on. But now this one is looking at sum of sales by quarter, so it has decided to add for you the sales that were made in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter, and these are the grand total sales. When you add all of this is what you get. Okay, so this is good. This can be good for someone who is just getting introduced to pivot tables. But if you are used to pivot tables, you wouldn't like Excel to recommend for you. You would like to draw a pivot table from scratch. Similar to draw a pivot table from scratch, you select your data. You can click there. then you move up where you want to, then you shift, put your cursor there, shift, then click to select your data. Then from there we go to recommend pivot table. You choose pivot table. Again, it will ask you again to select the data, but we have already selected. Then you can use an external data source. That is, if you want to choose data from another location, maybe from another workbook, from another file altogether, which is not this one. Then choose where you want to pivot table report to be placed. So you can say new worksheet or an existing worksheet, but this is not very good because your pivot table is going to appear exactly where your work is. So it is better to put it in a new worksheet. You click OK. Then this is the new worksheet which has been inserted. I am free to right click, then rename it. I can say my pivot table, maybe for sales. Yes, because I'm going to use the sales and the category. I click outside, right click, I can even give it a color, so it will be green. This is my source data. I can right click here, rename, then I can say source data. So we get there. Now we go back to our pivot table. You click within. This is now an empty pivot table, whereby when you click it, it gives you pivot table fields. This pen, you can drag it even and take it wherever you want. Just click in it where I've clicked, and then you move your mouse. But let's bring it back. Okay, and I can extend it, put a cursor there, then drag 12. So this pivot table fields, which has got, these are the table headers or column headers, column names. You remember we had the category, product, and the sales. Oh, there's scrolling. Yeah. More, sales, quarter. Okay. So, and then here we have filters, we have columns, we have rows, and then we have values. Now, whatever is in your table, which is text based, when you click it, it will come here. The one which accommodates values or numbers, when you click it, it will come here in values. And let's say, let me show you what I mean. When I, for example, put category, product category. So I click category, the category will come here. Then say row labels. I can label them as a category. I click there, then I select category. Category. So that is a category there. So I've clicked and you can see category has come here. I want to get the category together with the sales. So I click sales. Because sales stores numbers, the sales will come here. So the numbers are stored here. So now you can see this is now category and sum of sales. Yes, that is my pivot table. Category and sum of sales. So beverages, this is the sum of sales. Condiments, the sum of sales. And then seafood, that is the sum of sales. And then down here we have the grand total. Now maybe I want to see the product category sum of sales by quarter. So I get here and then select quarter. Okay. So because the quarter is also in the form of text, it will also come here as rows. It is indicated in rows. That's what you can see. So that is beverage. First quarter, this is the sum of sales. Second quarter, this is the sum of sales. And fourth quarter, this is the sum of sales for beverages, and so on and so forth, these ones. But we can choose, maybe we don't want to see category here, quarter in rows, we want to see it here in columns. So we can just pick this, drag it, and drop it here in columns. Okay, such that we can see the sum of sales by sum of sales of product category here. This is the first quarter beverages, second quarter beverage, and fourth quarter. And also like here, seafood, this is the sum of sales by product category called seafood, first quarter, second quarter, and what have you. And then this is the grand total for for each quarter. This is now the grand total for first quarter, third quarter, second quarter, first quarter. Okay, and then this is now the grand of the grand totals for all the quarters, this one here. And indeed, when you add all of this, that is what you get there. So that is the a pivot table. Then there is this field here which is called filters. Filters, it can help you to filter out certain items. For example, maybe we want to see all of this, but for only a given product. Okay. So we can pick this product, drag it, and drop it in filters. And still when you do that, you are seeing a tick will come here. Okay. When you remove a tick, it goes away. When you put a tick, automatically it will come here in the row section. Okay. And in the row section, you can see the products have come here. Chai, Chang, Chafa, whatever it is here, up, down here. Okay. But we don't want it to appear here. Or we can even minimize it by clicking that. We click that. But whenever you see a plus, it means inside there is still more. Okay. Whenever you see a plus, means inside there is much more. So if you have a pivot table like this, then you see pluses here. It means there is in beverages, it is embedded. You are seeing beverage with what? That's how you can see here that is a product category and then the product itself. But I want the product to appear as filters. So I can drag it from here and put it there. Now you can see it has moved away. Now here, product, what, all. Then I select this. These are the different products. Supposing I want to analyze the table of category, sum of sales of the product category in a given quarter. Okay, the product maybe I want this chai only. So that is what I'm going to see in the first quarter. You can see chai. This is now kind of like filtering out. Maybe I want that one. I click. Maybe I want to see more than one product. I say select multiple items. I can select this and maybe that one. Then I click OK. Okay. So this is what I'm going to see. Beverages and seafood. Okay. That is filters. So you can choose all. If you want to see all of them, then you click OK. You will see all the products and their categories. Okay, so that is that. And then here we can see maybe we only have some. It is not only some that is possible. You can click here, this arrow here, and then it gives you, for example, you can move that one to move to report filter, move to row labels, move to column labels. That is, if you want sum to go to column, you can remove the field completely, equivalent to removing a tick from here. Then value field settings. What is in value field settings? You click value field setting, and then you can see the custom name of what we are doing is the sum of cells, but you can see count of cells. For example, you can say average of cells. Maybe you want the pivot to pivot on maximum of cells, minimum of cells, or product of cells, and so on and so forth. There are other functions that can be performed. Okay, so it is maybe, let's say, maximum of cells. So you click there, so it will give you the maximum of the cells. So that is how we analyze data. And so that is pivoting, enabling us to analyze our data. Then much more, you can, for example, get here, you right click in the table itself, then a lot can be done. You can format number cells, copy. Maybe, for example, you can copy this table and paste it on another worksheet. You can format the cells, number format, if you want to change the format of the numbers, refresh, sort. For example, let's say sort smallest to largest. Yes, values get sorted, smallest to largest. You can see this is the smallest value in that column, or largest to smallest, or more options, more sort options. Yeah, sort by value, sort option, smallest to largest, largest to smallest, sort direction, top to bottom, left to right. So you choose what you want. Then again, you can remove maximum of cells if you want. You don't want maximum of cells. You can summarize values by summarize values by sum, by count, by average. Now we have said summarize values by maximum. Remember, we typed maximum, but we can go back to summarize values by sum, such that now you have sum of cells. But before it was sum of cells of product category, but before it was maximum of cells of product category. You can summarize by average. You can see average of cells category. Here, this is first quarter, second quarter, and so on and so forth. Okay? So there we are summarizing by average. Just a matter of putting a cursor here, you right click, and then you choose. Again, you can show values as maybe percentage. Let's say percentage of grand total, or percentage of column total, or percentage of row total, or percentage of, you can keep on trying these ones. Now this is percentage of grand total. So we are summarizing these values. Maybe we just want to see the percentage by first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, as percentage of the grand total. Okay, then show details, value field settings, pivot table options. A lot can be done. For example, when you go to pivot table options, and then in this radio button, layout and format, there is even merge and center cells with labels. For error values, can come to total, totals and filter. For example, you say grand total, show grand totals for rows, show grand total for columns. Maybe we don't want to show the grand total for rows and for columns. You deselect that, and then you click OK. Now you can see all the grand totals have disappeared. We are only showing this. Okay, you can go back. That is pivot table options, and then tools and filter. You come back and bring back the grand total. So a lot can be done. It is just a matter of you getting here and you manipulate to see what happens here. Yes, so that is that. Now let's go back and get summarize values by sum. Mm -hmm. And then when you summarize values by sum, we don't want to see percentages. Show values as no calculation. You leave it just as values like that. So that is that. If you want, you can draw another pivot table. You go back to source data. The data is still selected. Insert pivot table. Yes, just click OK. You want it now on a new worksheet. You right click, then you rename pivot table PV2. Just click outside, come back, right click, tab color. Give it a color. Now come and click in the template pivot table to get back pivot table fields. Of course, when you click outside before drawing a pivot table, the pivot table fields here disappear. So click in the whatever and then you get that. Maybe we want another pivot table of just product and then product with what? With quarter. You can see they are all appearing here because you don't have values in them, so they will appear as row labels, but you can choose to put them here. And when you put them here, Excel will look at your data and say, according to your data, I think I'm just going to give you count. It is counting you for you product with the number of times it was bought, maybe in the quarters. How many times does it appear in the quarters? But then you can remove this quarter and drop it. You just drag it and drop it in space. So it will disappear from there, even from here, and here it gets deselected. But let's want to say product by sales. Yes, that is a pivot table for the product by sales. But of course, there are so many products. So again, your summarization will be a bit hectic. But remember, this is a table. When you click in this table, you get pivot table tools where you can be able to design. You can design the table, give your table, click that, you can choose these different styles. You choose a style of your choice. Maybe I want that. See? Yes, I can give my pivot table a style. Some of the styles don't have lines or grid lines. I want one with grid lines. Okay. There is one with no lines. And the choice is yours. It's your choice. It's your choice. So that is a pivot table. And then, of course, a lot can be done. Subtotal. Do you want to get subtotal? Do you want grand total? Report layout, blank rows, row header, column, whatever. A lot can be done on pivot table styles. That is in design. And then there's also analyze. Okay. In analyze, you can choose a lot. Here says sum of cells. That is then pivot table 3. You can give your pivot table the name. Okay. Maybe pivot table 3, or you can give it any other name. That may be product cells. That one you can call it product cells table. Most of these are things, it is just a matter of you trying out and see what happens, or you can make more research and then you get to know more about. When you click outside the table, the pivot table tools disappear. If you want it back, you click inside there, pivot table tools appears with its tabs here together with the pivot table fields. So that is it. Thank you very much. Make more practice. Thank you.